One channel I'd like to talk about is TikTok, because I think TikTok has had a major impact on e-commerce brands, especially recently. And I'm curious, like, how you think about TikTok's impact from your perspective. And is it like similar to what Instagram's impact was a few years back? Does it feel different? How do you sort of think about TikTok as a channel for e-com?
Yeah, I think that you're spot on. Is there's only I feel like sometimes you like know, or hopefully beforehand, not retroactively, like, okay, this is like a channel that like I have to pounce on. And there's always like and I talked about earlier about around prioritization, but sometimes there is that shiny penny that's worth going after. And so with TikTok right now, I think for these e-commerce sellers, like you have to carve off time to invest there. It is such an exciting channel. What TikTok's done on, I think, kind of helping change my like consumer behavior and taking a lot of like what worked in the East and having that work here in the West, has just been fascinating. How they've really focused on the whole customer experience and like the post-purchase process and everything like that. But yes, it is a channel that is blowing up, and all brands should look at that. I think it's the most exciting thing for any e-commerce seller since Instagram ads and like the heyday when people were just building these $1 million businesses essentially on top of like Shopify and Instagram. And so I think people should be jumping all over this. It reminds me of very early in my career when there was this Google Apps Marketplace, which was, I forget, I don't even know what they call it now, the Google Suite, if you will, Gmail for Business. They had this marketplace for apps, and we were able to leverage it like crazy. And Google was subsidizing a ton of it as well, including like a lot of the paid search. Like they would basically, you could search for project management, and they were essentially paying themselves, or like project management tool or project management software. And like the number one paid ad was their app store. And then we were ranked number one, and we weren't paying anything to rank number one. We just had to game it so we could be number one. And so we're basically getting all the clicks for at the top for project management software and paying nothing. So anyways, like there's sometimes these arbitrage opportunities, Instagram ads and now TikTok.
Do you see any arbitrage opportunities for B2B companies today? Because I've messed around with TikTok. We'll probably put a clip of this interview up on TikTok. But honestly, we having a lot of success. You know, it's like we get 50, 60 views, like two boring guys talking about B2B SaaS. You know, it's like, but yeah, is there any arbitrage opportunities you see for B2B that you want to share? You want to keep it close?
Nothing right now, unfortunately. But I'd say still so many people neglect SEO. Depending on the team and the like experience and skill set, and of course the product, if people actually search for what you have, I think it's just such a no-brainer for people to invest in.
I think even stuff like podcasts and just building brand. I think what people trip up at B2B SaaS is like everyone starts going down these marketing paths because I think they should, or they see other people doing it, but then they like lack the consistency and the rigor over a long term. And I think the trick with any of these programs, you just have to stick with it, and you have to keep doing it, and you build a brand, and you can't look for like that immediate ROI. Because if you look for the immediate ROI, we'd have stopped this podcast after, 10 listens on the first episode. But like, I look at this as like, all right, 5 years from now, if I could be, a mini Joe Rogan for B2B SaaS, great. Like even if I had 5,000 people listening, like that would be huge, and it could drive, compounding effects for the business. So I don't know. I think consistency is a funny arbitrage opportunity for a lot of companies.
Agreed. Also, it's not just always quantity, like what is the quality that you're getting? Because if you're viewed as this voice in the ecosystem for your industry, and then these larger companies will then take you more seriously earlier in the journey, that could have massive ROI.
One fun thing I saw you guys do is I think you brand your ShipBob trucks, right? So say you don't own them, but you brand them. Can you talk about how that came to be? Or maybe I don't know if that's a fun story, but I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool. I want trucks that have my brand on it.
So book that I'm sure other people mention a bit as well, but like, so Marshall McLuhan's with Medium as the Message, where he essentially says like how you get in front of your customers is equal, if not more important than what you get in front of your customers. That's essentially the crux of the book. And so for us, as we're fulfilling goods, I really want to think through that of like how we can get in front of our customers is very important. And so, and that simultaneous with, at the end of the day, we're this fulfillment technology solution. Like, it doesn't really get much more boring than that. But what's pretty cool is some of the brands that we work with. Like we work with some really cool brands. And so why, can we position ourselves alongside these cool brands? And so now you'll see across New York and LA and other regions, it's us with Jennifer Aniston's Lola V brand, or it's Tony's, which is like one of the hottest items out there. If you go to any Target, for kids, it's one of the hottest toys out there. We've got our trucks with Tom Brady's TB12 brand. And so it's really, how can we partner with our customers who we're delivering all these goods for anyways, and just really elevate their presence, because they love that as well. And, it's helping elevate us alongside, these cool commerce brands as well.
It's a great marketing campaign. And I do see that tactic a lot of like the billboards in the Bay Area. Like Salesforce has the giant one on the 101, and they're always swapping it in with like whoever their latest big customer is, like the F1 drivers or some healthcare system and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it perfectly makes the brand seem cooler. But then also, everyone wants to buy software from, people who have helped a business like them before. And so it really helps them kind of put themselves in your shoes and be like, oh, okay, well, if people use ShipBob for this, or if that brand's using ShipBob for something, I could be using it too. So yeah, I love that type of marketing campaign.
And we often more just blend in the background with our customers, which we're totally fine with, like them never having any idea that, the consumer's not knowing that we're part of the equation. But, this is, as we evolve our brand and evolve our business, is one of the first forays into just getting more into the consumer mind.